Good morning, colleagues, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting for today, Wednesday, March 30th, 2022.
Good morning, everyone. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, establishing roll call and quorum for today. We have President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Corzan. President Garcia, you do have a quorum at this time. Currently, we do not have any callers on the line under general public comment. We also do not have any commentary under the neighborhood council comment section. No callers on the line for any of the items except for item number 12. We do have the developer, the applicant, Chris Parker, on the line for item 12. Should your board have any questions for the applicant? Again, that's for item number 12.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Campos. All right, colleagues, given that we don't have any public comment is now officially closed, or neighborhood council comments as well. We're gonna take the minutes first, and we're gonna take the bids, and then we'll start our women history presentation for the month today. And with that, colleagues, is there a second to my motion to approve the minutes of Wednesday, March 16, 2022? So, thank you. I'll take that as a second. I'll take it. There's a first by me and a second by Vice President Villegas and Dr. Davis to move the minutes of last Wednesday, March 16th.
Great. We'll start the voting tabulations, and we'll start with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
Motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Madam President, would you like to move this approval of the minutes forward forthwith?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Great. It moves us now to agenda item number 1. These are bids received at 10 a.m. For the following public works project. This is an Asilomar Boulevard Stabilization Project, www.OE1907673, estimate of $8,506,919. This is in Council District 11. Dr. Campos, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Good morning, everyone. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, opening up the bids again this morning in Council District 11 for the Asilomar Boulevard Stabilization Project. We did receive 2 bids this morning for this project, and we'll start to open up the bids for this project now. The first bid received for this project, or for the first project, is from Access Pacific Incorporated for a total bid amount of $8,282,097.96. That's 8282097.96 from Access Pacific Incorporated. The second and final bid received for this project is from Keller, K-E-L-L-E-R, for a total bid amount of $6,402,415.73. That's 6402415.73 from Keller, K-E-L-L-E-R. President Garcia, that concludes the bid openings for this project and all bids for today's agenda as well.
Great, thank you, Dr. Campos. Dr. Campos, remind me, do we have to vote on this to accept them?
Yes, we do. We do need a motion to receive, open, and declare these bids.
Got it. Thank you. All right, colleagues, is there a motion to open and receive these bids that were just read by Dr. Campos?
So moved.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Corzan. Dr. Campos, there's a first by Vice President Villegas and a second by Commissioner Corzan to move this item forward.
Absolutely. We'll start the voting tabulations, and we'll start with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
And Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Madam President, would you like to move this forthwith?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, well, we took care of those business, those item of business, I should say that. I just thank you for hanging on in there. I know that today's a very special day, and it brings us, one, to the conclusion of Women's History Month, and second, today we get to recognize women within our department that have contributed to the success that we have here at Public Works. So I thank you all for being patient with us, and I thank you all for and your families, whoever are sharing this with your families and your colleagues. Thank you all for being here. I'm gonna now pass it over to our Vice President, Vice President Villegas, who will lead us through today's presentation. Vice President, you ready?
Thank you. Yes, good morning, everyone. And what a blessing it is to be able to celebrate the women of the Board of Public Works today on such a beautiful day that we've been bestowed. With no further ado, I just wanted to welcome everyone and, sing the praises for Women's History Month now that we are closing out the month of March. And today I have the distinct pleasure of recognizing a few of the exceptional women from the Department of Public Works. The month of March is designated, as you all know, a Women's History Month by a presidential proclamation. It's an important time for us to celebrate and reflect. Excuse me, technical difficulties here. There we go. It's a time for us to celebrate and reflect on women's achievements as well as the struggles that were overcome to bring us to where we're at today. The contributions of women have been immense throughout history, but they've also gone unsung. This year's theme for National Women's History Month is providing healing and promoting hope. The theme is a tribute to frontline workers and caregivers who have been working tirelessly throughout this pandemic. And it is also intended to recognize the many ways that women of all cultures have provided healing and hope throughout history. While this time is set aside to commemorate the vital role women have played in the American history, it is also an opportunity to celebrate the many ways in which women are trailblazing today. We are very fortunate to be surrounded by so many women who are leading and serving our community to improve the lives of many Angelenos every single day. Mayor Eric Garcetti has been a lifelong champion of gender equity and women's leadership, and it is a testament to our leadership that we see so many high-ranking women throughout the city of Los Angeles. These strong women are inspiring girls across Los Angeles who might consider certain career paths impossible or thought that these positions were out of reach for them. Just to name a few of these women, our city council president is led by President Nuri Martinez. Barbara Romero is currently the only woman leading one of the largest bureaus as LA Sand Director. The amazing women who lead our board offices, Rachel Malerich, Erica Blyther, Marta Segura, and most recently, Chief Kristen Crowley, who was confirmed this month as the first woman to ever lead the Los Angeles Fire Department. This is a powerful and must be celebrated occasion because it teaches young girls to strive and to do all that they can to show that they are capable of achieving these goals as well. There are no limits. These are the stories that will inspire the future. Today, we will honor a few of the women from the Department of Public Works who are providing exemplary service on climate change issues for the city. Their dedication and efforts to tackle one of the largest threats to the well-being of Angelenos will make our city better for generations to come. These women are serving our communities and working hard to deliver the core services that make our neighborhoods safer, cleaner, and more livable. We'd like to thank you and your work, especially during this challenging time. You have stayed on the course and ensured that the city kept running and that the quality of life was enhanced for all of our residents. The board is honored to recognize and celebrate you and your invaluable contributions to the Department of Public Works, the city of Los Angeles, and its more than 4 million residents. So now I'd like to invite President Aura Garcia to introduce our first honoree.
Thank you, Vice President. That was really, and also recognize you as Vice President of our Board of Public Works, Villegas. This is a very important, we have very excellent nominees today, and you will be receiving a really nice certificate, by the way. If we were in person, you will get it. We will go take pictures with you, and, the whole board would stand up and give you an applause and so forth. So when we get there, we'll be able to kind of do this backwards again, but for now, know that in spirit, we would be doing that. So with that, it's my honor to bring to you our nominee from the Bureau of Contract Administration, Fasila Pereira. She's a senior construction inspector. Fasila Pereira started her career with the Bureau of Contract Administration 6 years ago as an assistant inspector in 2016. She was quickly promoted to construction inspector in 2017 and was recently promoted to senior construction inspector this year. Fasila graduated from the University of California, Irvine with a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. She is greatly admired for her engineering mind and her ability to visualize things on paper. Fasila currently possesses 4 deputy licenses and is known as someone who is curious and wants to learn about everything. She has served as a lead construction inspector on projects including Descanso Drive and Sunset Boulevard Street reconstruction, Vermont Median Island improvements, Echo Park Skate Park, Main Street improvements, and more. Currently, Fasila is sharing her wealth and knowledge by working on loan to the Port of Los Angeles on the high-profile Wilmington Waterfront Promenade project. In addition to her strong work ethic, she shows a strong desire to help others, especially women in this field. Fasila is focused on gaining experience in all aspects of inspection and management and making her a great asset to contract administration and the city of Los Angeles. Fasila, you sound really impressive here. Good to have you on board. Hang on, John Reamer, any words?
Any words? Well, first of all, good morning to all of our Public Works family and to President Garcia and Vice President Villegas. Thank you very much and congratulations to you in your post, especially in this month where we are acknowledging women in Women History Month. And I must say I'm biased. I enjoyed being raised by a strong woman, my mother, and I have a strong wife and a strong daughter. And my life it would not be complete without those women who have definitely invested in me as well as supported and led in many areas. And that's who we have today. I am so pleased to come and just present for those who have not had the pleasure of meeting Fasila Pereira. And, when Vice President Villegas gave the words healing and hope, immediately what came to me, I wanted to add a third H for this occasion with respect to Fasila is harmony. Fasila is one that, as you read all of the characteristics that surround her, and all of them are so true, and there are many more that we could have given you. But as I was coming in this morning, what came to mind is this show not a show, but it's an animated picture movie that comes on every year around Christmas. It's Polar Express. Some of you may be familiar with it, some of you may not. But my youngest son and I, we enjoy watching it. We commit to that every year. And you might remember the scene where as they get on the train, the conductor clicks their little ticket and he starts to write a word on there. And then at the end, when they get off, he finishes the word. And the one character, the young lady, the word that she had was lead. And when she read it at first, it said led. It says, no, not led, lead, leader. And I would follow you anywhere. That is Fasila. Fasila is a leader. She is a leader in our environment, and she came in as an assistant inspector, as I did, and has promoted up to senior. Many who I've talked to, there's no reason why we will not be celebrating her soon becoming a principal and a chief, and who knows how far, because those are the characteristics that she has. I could go on and on and on, but I know we have other wonderful honorees that we want to mention. Fasila, thank you very much for all that you do for the city of Los Angeles, the Department of Public Works, and selfishly for the Bureau of Contract Administration. We are made better because of your presence in our midst. And I celebrate and congratulate you in this Women's History Month. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for all the kind words. I really appreciate it. I'm honored to have been selected to receive the Women's History Month Award. This is one of the most significant events of my professional career, and I sincerely appreciate the recognition, and I'm grateful to all those that nominated me. Thank you so much once again for all your kind words. I really appreciate it.
Wow. Well, you sound amazing, Ms. Pereira, and I hope to meet you in person soon. Just even with your vest today, it just represents everything about you. So I just want to say congratulations personally.
Thank you so much. Thank
Very
you.
well
I appreciate it. I hope to meet you all one day too.
Congratulations once again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're moving on now to the Bureau of Engineering for our next awardee. And the awardee from the Bureau of Engineering is Ms. Zora Akhtar. Ms. Akhtar is an architect and the Chief Sustainability Officer for the Bureau of Engineering. She is passionate about the environment and has dedicated her career to implementing building-related sustainability measures into the city projects. She began her career at the Bureau of Engineering as a student architect 1 in 2001, as a campus hire, and later joined as an architectural associate in 2003. In her nearly 20 years with the City of Los Angeles, she has seen growth in the green building industry and has actively participated in keeping the Bureau of Engineering abreast of these changes. She led the design and construction of many building projects, conducted feasibility studies, completed multiple master planning studies, all with the focus on sustainability. Some of her notable design projects include the Hay Rookie Pool, Andres and Maria Cardenas Child Care Center, Cabrillo Marine Aquarium Master Plan, the Harbor Sanitation Yard Master Plan, North Central District Yard Relocation Study, and many more. Her current sustainability focus includes the planning and implementation of full building decarbonization of the city's existing building stock, the implementation of the Green New Deal initiatives, planning and implementation of the net zero energy in all new municipal facilities by 2030, and continued implementation of the leadership in energy and the environmental design, LEED, certification in the city's facilities. Zora is a soft-spoken individual but persistent advocate for rethinking all design and considering the climate challenges that we are facing. She's a great asset to the Bureau of Engineering, and we thank her for her service to the community. Congratulations. Seems like you have, Gary White, you gave her a lot of work.
She's
part of all these master plans. That's a lot.
Good morning.
Congratulations, Ms. Akhtar.
Yeah. Thank you for recognizing Zora today. She's absolutely outstanding. And I'm always amazed. I'm glad I'm not getting older, but Zora's been with us 20 years. And when you look at the depth and breadth of Zora, you really shared it with us this morning. When you go down to a grand opening of the pool, the Hay Rookie Pool down in the Harbor District, and you look at what a massive undertaking that was, and Zora did that, and there's nothing she can't do. And sustainability got to interface a lot with Zora, and it's amazing. In the mayor's Green New Deal, you've got Zora's footprints all over that document, and she's always pushing us to take it to a higher level, looking about how we deliver. And then what I really appreciate, she helps all of her colleagues succeed, because sustainability and implementation of sustainability features are challenging and complex. And Zora has the ability to take those complex ideas and turn them into reality. And so many of her colleagues she helps and mentor and to succeed. And Zora, I really appreciate what you've done for us. and what you continue to do, and you've done in the city, but also regionally, helping out the region with sustainability. And so thank you so much. And with that, I'll turn it over to our Chief Deputy City Engineer, Ms. Deborah Weintraub.
Thank you, Gary, and thank you, commissioners, for honoring Zora. Zora and I started with the city the same year, and she's been just a avid advocate for doing better quality sustainability projects all across the city. And her current undertaking is how do we decarbonize a mere 1,500 city-owned facilities. So it's a small project. I just want to add to all the accolades that said Zora is an excellent architectural designer, really beautiful designer. And she's also the mother of two wonderful daughters who I got to see again at Christmas time this year when we all gathered at the zoo. So congratulations, Zora.
Thank you. Any words, Zora?
Thank you very much. Thank you, commissioners and distinguished guests. I'm honored to accept this recognition from you. I want to take this opportunity to thank a few people who have been my partners, teachers, mentors along the way. I would like to start by thanking the city engineer, Gary Lee Moore, for being the leader that you are and for being a sustainability champion. You and the BOE management have been the greatest cheerleaders for innovation. In my over 20 years of career now, it's hard to believe it's been over 20 years. I feel like I was just a intern the other day running after everybody and just listening to and being in awe of all of you. But it's been 20 years. And in these 20 years, I've witnessed, I've been witness to seeing our current Chief Deputy City Engineer, Deborah Weintraub, my teacher, Mahmoud Kareemzadeh, Sean Farzan, Saro Dersarwan, Cyril Charles, many of whom have retired. Introducing the landmark city leadership in energy, environmental design, green building policy, construction policy, the LEED construction policy 20 years ago, and implementing LEED one credit at a time, figuring it out, what it means to implement those credits for the city projects, one credit at a time. What an experience I've had watching them do that. Deborah, I don't know if you recall when you sent me to one of the first LEED workshop being held at the Southern California Gas Company, sometimes in 2003 or 4, in that time, I don't recall exact timing of it. Although I've been interested in sustainability from my college days, but that one workshop changed my trajectory of my career completely. I want to thank you, Deborah, for being my sustainability mentor from my early student architect days. And thank you for taking me under your wing and teaching me how to incorporate sustainability into building design to make it better. And so you are a mentor to me and many others at the Bureau of Engineering. I want to also thank my parents, Muhammad Salahuddin, and my mom, Aisha Begum, for their hard work and love. My 3 brothers, 2 sisters, my mother and father-in-law for their love and support. My husband, Jubair, for giving me my daughters, Farzeen and Fareen, and for your love and support every day. And I do want to emphasize the word every day, the support that I get every day. Thank you for always cheering me on and encouraging me. Thank you to my daughters for being the caring, smart, talented girls that you are. I love you. And at the end, I would like to recognize the hard work the engineers, architects, landscape architects of the Bureau of Engineering do every day to implement green building policies into projects. I would like to accept this award on behalf of my colleagues at the Architectural Division, Principal Architect Stephen Fears, a group of other sustainability champions, many other sustainability champions at the Bureau of Engineering, Lorraine Moreno, Jeannie Park, Christine Rage, late Jose Fontamilas, who has really helped us rethink certain things as a group project, Marcus E., Sahar Mirzad, Greg Vandergriff, Edward Arrington, Michael Affold, and all the members of the current Bureau of Engineering Strategic Plans Sustainability Initiative members who are very enthusiastic and eager to learn and innovate. So I thank you all again. Thank you for the opportunity.
Congratulations, so well deserved. I will turn this back to President Garcia. Thank you.
Thank you, VP. Thank you, VOE. And Sora, we could see the picture behind you, so we know what you did. Very nice. That's an awesome and very impressive work. So congratulations.
I recognize my colleague Eric Villanueva and Rick Fisher, who's the landscape architect in that project as well. Thank you.
Wow. Well, very ideal picture for today.
Thank you.
That's Gary, both of you. All right, moving on to this is a nominee from I have the honor to present the award for sanitation, or Bureau of Sanitation, to Darlene Warnick Spencer, Wastewater Treatment Operator 3. Darlene Warnick Spencer from LA Sanitation and Environment is a strong leader and considered a rising star in the organization. She is a wastewater treatment operator 3 at the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant, who began her career with the city as a plant equipment trainee in May of 2019. An outstanding member of the operational staff, Darlene has demonstrated strong leadership skills by managing conventional plant processes in the advanced water treatment process on the graveyard shift. Throughout the pandemic, she ensured process stability, permit compliance, and operator safety. Darlene recently obtained her California State Water Resources Control Board Grade 5 certification. She has also served as a mentor to her coworkers by encouraging fellow operators to reach their personal and professional goals while also setting the example herself. Darlene has become an invaluable member of the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant team. This recognition honors her contributions to LA sanitation environment and the entire city. Congratulations, Darlene, and welcome. And before you say anything, we want to make sure that Lisa, representing here, can speak on sanitation's behalf. Lisa?
Thank you very much, President Garcia. I'll start with a couple of comments and then turn it over to Ron Mayuyu, who is our fairly newly promoted plant manager down at Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant. I'm delighted to be here honoring Darlene today. When we look at what services were most in demand during COVID-19, obviously people needed to be able to flush their toilets and have that taken care of. And so to be able to honor our staff who worked so tirelessly during times when we had reduced staffing because we had COVID cases and close contacts at the plant, and the folks who were still able to work had to, step up and really do that extra work during that time period. It's fantastic to see someone like Darlene, who was such an important part of that, as well as the other things that she's doing. Being able to get her grade 5 license is just fantastic, to have that incredibly high level of certification. Darlene is also one of the members as we started our Society of Women Engineers chapter here at LA Sanitation. So she is just a fantastic exemplar of really dedicating so much to the city, to our residents, and doing so while working very closely with her coworkers. And with that, I'll turn it over to Ron.
Hello, good morning. My name is Ron Mayuyu. I'm the newly promoted division manager for Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant. It's such an honor for me to introduce and acknowledge Darlene for us here today. Darlene had been a strong member of our operations staff. She has demonstrated strong leadership as well as being a part of the operation and making sure that we meet all the regulatory requirements and safety of the plant. Being a treatment plant operator is a very difficult job. An operator is required to work on different shifts any day of the week, including weekends. And this work had even become more difficult during the pandemic with the shortage of staffing. And while we try to keep the plant running 24/7, Ms. Spencer has stepped up to the plate. Keep on working, and it's keep on working and making sure, especially graveyard shift. And personally, this is the most difficult shift. I started out as an operator as well at Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant, and graveyard shift, that what she's doing right now is so commendable. Being there and making sure everything is running. These are usually the time that something bad happens in the plant. But she's there all the time. So it becomes even more important that she's there. So we try to put the best operators on to work on graveyard shift, to be honest with you. And for that, I really acknowledge Darlene for being a member of our team. And I'm very proud. I'm looking forward to working with her for a very long time and being part of a Terminal Island. And with that, thank you. And congratulations, Darlene.
Thank you. Can you hear me, you guys? Okay, great. This is like, well, first and foremost, thank you very much for this recognition. This is like a dream come true. I've always wanted to be in the position where I could show women what women can do. And as a matter of fact, I'm one of 6 women in operations in LA San. And what we decided to do was get together. So the 6 of us get together and we actually talk about our experiences as women in this field. And we mentor each other, we study together, we socialize together. And, you know, I'm lucky enough to have one work with me now, and I'm helping her as best I can. But this is what it's about. It's about teamwork. But in a male-dominated field now, women are starting to show what we can do, but it takes a village still. So I want to give special thanks to my seniors, Ken Tron and Sam Polaris, who trusted in me. You know, trusted in my capabilities, encouraged me to keep growing and striving to climb this ladder, and I'm already a WTO3. I haven't even been here 3 years yet, you know, so I'm doing it. I always follow the advice: when opportunity presents itself, you have to be prepared. So I'm always studying. So I'm trying to encourage everybody to just keep everything fresh in your mind. I mean, we have new innovative things coming up. We have to talk to each other. I also want to thank my operators, the guys down there. They, from where I came from to where I am now, they've shown me nothing but respect. My guys show me respect. They help me whenever I need information. They trained me. I adjusted so quickly. That's part of the reason why I'm rising up so quickly. Also, Reggie Taylor. Reggie Taylor is our new Shifty 2. Constantly puts me up with positivity. If you constantly have positivity, your confidence goes up. So I'm very confident in what I do, and it's very, very important. So I'm promising you guys, I will always put forth 100%. I will always learn. My biggest thing that I want to get into is advanced water. I have 3 years of MBR experience, and they're all similar: ROs, MFs, AOP. My goal is to produce the best product water, which is, I'm sure, all of everybody's goal is to have the best recycled water leave the plant. And so I'm going to ensure that that's done, but I'm also going to let women know that they can do this. Let young people know. I mean, even 18-year-old boys, you can do this, but you have to work at it. You can't just, take it like a grain of salt. You have to want quality. So I'm promising you 100% from me. And then once again, thank you so much. This means the world to me, to be getting this recognition in in the Women's History Month is like the ultimate right now. But I'm going to keep going. There's higher things I want to reach. So thank you very much.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations indeed. It's inspiring what you're saying. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love to see the pride you have, and I hope that you share that pride. That city, working for the city of LA is a prideful moment to be part of your life. So I'm happy that you have that, and I hope you share that amongst, and it looks like you do, amongst the rest of your circle, that it is a beautiful thing to work for the city, especially for this city. So Darlene, you are definitely a model of that, and we appreciate that so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the recognition. It's appreciated.
Yeah, congratulations. Very nice. Very nice honoree for the sanitation.
Thank you. All right. So I am going to be moving on to our next honoree. So many fabulous women. I wish we could take more time to get to know you as well, our honorees. So for the next bureau, we will be highlighting the Bureau of Street Lighting, and we will be honoring Susana Trujillo. And Susana Trujillo, give me a second here. Okay. Susana Trujillo joined the Bureau of Street Lighting in 2019 as a management analyst in the Administrative Services Division. She is diligent in her work and prepares all the reports for the Bureau's Street Lighting Assessment Fund and manages the Bureau's MICLA accounts. It's a lot of detail. In the past year, Susanna has overseen the NASA grant work in the Bureau of Street Lighting, making sure that all the financial aspects of of what they call Predicting the Air We Breathe program are running smoothly. This program is led by the Mayor's Office and uses machine learning to understand the urban air quality. It's also one of the exciting contributions that the Bureau of Street Lighting is currently making to help the city combat climate change. Susanna's work ethic and dedication make her an invaluable asset to LA Lights. It is a pleasure to acknowledge the contributions she makes to improve the city of Los Angeles. And with that, I will turn it over to Megan. Good to see you, Susanna. Congratulations.
Morning. Thank you, Vice President. Thanks for allowing us all to be here and to honor all these great women in our amazing department that gets so much meaningful work done every single day. You know, it's so great to hear everybody's different contributions and everybody's different stories. So I really like that we're able to do this during Women's History Month. So, you know, as we were looking to nominate someone for BSL, our first instinct was to sort of look at our field operations and, you know, see who's frontline and boots on the ground. And then we thought about our engineers and many who are impressive women that design our street lighting systems and, you know, or work with EV chargers and some of that technology. And all of those are really good choices. But then my mind went to Susanna. And as the commissioner said, Susanna's a management analyst in our administrative services division. And she started her career with the city in 2001 and has promoted her way up through the ranks through various departments along her journey with the city, right, in her career. But as many of you know, our administrative and our IT folks are often like the glue that holds all our operations together, and they quietly support in the background all of the amazing things that we're able to do and get done and get credit for, and Susanna does just that. Susanna joined our bureau about 6 or 7 months right before the pandemic lockdown, so a lot of us didn't get a chance to work with her in person for a really long time before we were all sent home. But over the last 2 years, one of her assignments had us crossing paths on Google Meets a lot, and I was impressed. At about the time Susanna was hired, the Bureau took on something new, which the Commissioner mentioned, which was managing a large grant that the Mayor's Office had obtained from NASA to predict and study LA's air quality. And one of our parts was putting up air quality sensors on our streetlights and collecting the data. So anyway, managing this grant and supporting the mayor's office in this endeavor was something new to us, uncharted territory, if you will. And Susanna has been able to talk to all the right people and to be able to figure out what needs to be done to make our part in this work successful. And whether that's interactions with contractors or accounting staff or even deputy mayors, you know, she's done it all and been talking new accounts, MOUs, invoices, everything that needs to be done for BSL to really, you know, shine during this program. So we thank Susanna for her great work and her support of street lighting, and we can't wait to see what she takes on next. And I know that now that life is beginning to look a little more normal and shifting back to real life, she's looking forward to taking an overdue vacation with her family and relaxing and enjoying a little. So thank you, Susanna, for everything, and we applaud you.
An honor. I wasn't expecting this, but it's great to have this accomplishment. My years through the city have been great. I enjoy it. I've been able to grow as a person, as a woman. I've been able to promote. I had great supervisors, great colleagues who have always encouraged me or helped me, like to keep testing, keep promoting. And as I started as a clerk typist, I've been promoting, and it's just been great. I enjoy working here. Thank you to the Bureau. Thank you to everybody.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Susanna. Very nice to meet you and to know all about you. So, Megan, good choice on our BSL nominee here. Very nice to know that we have good people working out there on this very important projects that we have. So, Susanna, congratulations. Megan, thank you for being here, representing the Bureau as always. Thank you. Great. We're gonna move on now to this is where our next nominee is from the Bureau of Streets Services. She is Elisha Laren, Assistant Tree Surgeon. Elisa Laren, good to see you. Keith, good to have you. In case you guys didn't notice or didn't see, please check out channel 35 because Elisa Laren is highlighted there and star of our Public Works Week of Women History Month. So congratulations for that. By the way, Alicia, you did a very good job on your segment there. You represented the Bureau just perfectly, and it was really prideful to have you there. So, and I actually sent a note right after I saw it to Keith and Greg because I said, good choice. You really represented our Bureau to the maximum. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Alicia Laren is a hard-working and dependable assistant tree surgeon. In her short time with Streets LA, she's already making her mark in the Bureau. She works on a crew assisting tree surgeons in cleaning the area of tree debris from tree trimming and removal operations. She recently obtained her commercial driver's license permit and is pursuing her license to better assist the division in operating large commercial vehicles as part of her job-related duties. Elisa is always ready to work and has a can-do attitude on any job. She is focused on her future with Streets LA and seeks career development opportunities by constantly asking her supervisor for advice on learning tree care operations. Elisa is currently learning how to climb trees and diligently preparing for the upcoming tree climbing performance test. Wow. Streets LA believes that her work ethic and dedication to her craft rivals many of her male counterparts on the crew. We are appreciative of her hard work and excited to recognize a rising star in Streets LA. Congratulations, Alicia. Very well deserved.
Thank you.
We're going to hear some words from our director, Keith Mose, and then we'll hear from you, Alicia.
Good morning, President, Madam President. Yeah, Alicia Laren is basically, you said, a rising star in this Bureau. She's only been with us for a short time, but she's shown that her work ethic and dedication, that she's a go-getter, as they say. this is a traditionally this traditionally male job. And so what we're seeing in Alicia is that basically she's going to be a future leader in not only the urban forestry division, but in this bureau. I believe she's going to be actually a rising star to where she's going to be a future leader. And you said as far as with tree trimming, basically the work that she does impacts, all Angelinos across the entire, city, and impacts neighborhoods, improves quality of life, cleans our air, things like that. So she definitely has an impact. And her work ethic basically just demonstrates that she's going to do things to improve upon as far as our work products and things that we do. As you can see, she's out there in the field now, basically doing, performing her job. And you're right. When she did that, that segment on Channel 35, I couldn't have done it any better. It was very well done, very well prepared, very well spoken. And it's like, that's what a leader's all about. Someone that can represent, talk on behalf of, say, an organization. And that's Alicia. And I appreciate what she does. And it's like, it's so, tremendous. The impact and work that she does is just, heartfelt on my part. We look at trees as providing, shade and equity and basically helping the environment, biodiversity, things like that. And she's learning something that's basically going to, pay dividends in the future, because our trees are our living assets that only appreciate over time. So the work that she's, doing now is just, tremendous. So with that being said, Alicia, thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a great honor to receive this recognition. I wasn't expecting it, but for me, urban forestry, street services has been the best thing that has happened to me. I've been waiting for this for a very long time. It took me a while to get here, but I'm here now, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. And I want to thank all my coworkers, my supervisors. Everybody's amazing. Everything that I want to learn, they're willing to teach me. So I'm just very grateful. Thank you so much for the recognition.
Wow, great. Thank you, Alicia. Very well deserved as well. You're amongst other ladies today that received a nominee, and you're just as well deserved as that. And what something that Keith said is that you're learning a fraction of your work that's very explicit and very, not a lot of people know what you know, and not a lot of people are going to know what you know when it comes to tree caring, and not just that, just everything all about tree is a topic or an industry or field that folks are forgetting about, but you're not. You're right on it. You're on top of it, and I just want to say congratulations for that. Very well deserved, and very proud to have you within our bureau also.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. And thank you, Keith, for your time today. Have a good rest of the day. Stay so you can see the other ladies that also are being nominated today for their good work. So, Alicia, good luck on everything you're doing. Hopefully she can stay in the car for a little longer, right, Keith? Got it.
Yes.
Thanks, Alicia. All right. I'm going to move us on now to our final nominee of today's Women History Month. And this is a special one. This is well, they're all very special, by the way, and every woman that was nominated today has its own unique value and its own unique space in this bureau and this department that we do here at the city. So all of you have contributed just different, from water treatment to landscape architects to Alicia, to just everyone. And the one next that we're going to nominate is not any different. She is a rising star as well, and she does great work for us here at the board. This is from the Public Affairs Office, Diana Bulnes, Principal Public Relations Representative. Diana began her career with the City of Los Angeles in February of 2016 as a public relations specialist with the Department of Recreation and Parks. She took a promotional opportunity to join the Department of Public Works as a Principal Public Relations Representative in October 2017. Since joining the Public Affairs Office, Diana has led public relations and outreach efforts for the Bureau of Contract Administration, Bureau of Street Lighting, and the Office of Community Beautification. Diana was part of the team who first launched the department-wide Twitter and Facebook page and continues to grow its following and contribute by writing social media content to promote various programs, projects, and events. Diana has supported small and diverse businesses in Los Angeles through the promotion of contract administration's Access in LA events and the community level contracting initiative. She has also helped to build greater awareness of the important work done by the Office of Community Beautification through the promotion of community cleanups, the annual beautification conference, and most recently the Beautify LA grant program. Diana has helped to shine a spotlight on women in construction and engineering roles throughout the department through the Women Built LA social media campaign. I'll end by saying that Diana is constantly meticulous on detail, has a can-do attitude, and is a consummate of professional whom we are proud to call a member of the team. Yes, very proud of you, Diana. Congratulations. Well said on everything and more. And I just want to give a slight personal congratulations to you, Diana. You have been, I've seen you grow in the past 5 years, and now been here at the board. You have gone from good to way excellent now. Your writing, your writing skills, all of that have completely, every time I read your stuff now, I'm very like, oh, that's very good. I really love what you do. But I also really love your can-do attitude, like it was stated on your bio. That's really helpful for us here. And quite frankly, we wanted to give you this award a long time ago. Right, Elena? We had it in our minds to give it to you a while ago when you were doing so much in 1 month. We recognized you, and I can't remember what month it was that you had quite a few things on your plate that month that really made you shine, and I saw that through the ruffles of things that we were going through that month, and it just we didn't get to making it happen in that month, but this month was perfect for you. So thank you, Diana, for everything that you do. I don't think we wrote on your bio that you also did you were also a DSW during the pandemic, and you went out there and did your job also as a city civil servant. So congratulations for that as well. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Elena to give us her words.
Thank you, President Garcia and commissioners, and thank you so much for honoring Diana. Diana is a woman of integrity. She is a woman of character. She is responsible, committed, meticulous, as you said. She has that can-do attitude. But I think that the most special quality about Diana is her unique, amazing ability to capture the essence of an issue and the voice of whomever she's writing for. I mean, I've been a writer for a long time, decades, but I recognize this in Diana, and it impresses me every time I read something by her, whether it's a press release or a script like for a board presentation like this, or for Accessing LA. Whatever she's writing, she really researches it and she listens. If it's writing talking points with one of you commissioners, she meets with you first, she listens, and then she captures your voice and she writes it. And it's just, I don't mean to exaggerate, but it's kind of magical. And so this is what I love about Diana most. She is a pleasure to work with. She always says yes. She never says no. She's there through thick and thin, and she's relentless in her hard work. And so, Diana, thank you. Thank you for being a member of my team. Thank you for being you, and congratulations on this honor. Well deserved.
Thank you. Thank you so much. President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, I'm truly appreciative of this recognition. I was not expecting it, like others have said, when I was preparing today's presentation. I wasn't expecting to be one of the honorees, but I'm so appreciative of this. I feel lucky every day that I get to come to work and see so much diversity throughout the entire department. When I started my career in public relations more than 10 years ago, I was one of the only Latinas there at my PR agency doing this. And so to be here, to see so many women in leadership positions, you know, here we are right now with 2 strong Latinas leading the Board of Public Works. It's just an honor to do this every day. And I get to learn so much from women leaders, from Elena, my boss, who has supported me and helped me so much to grow in my career. Thank you for that. And then I also feel lucky that I get to promote the work of all the strong women throughout the department. So it's a pleasure every day to try to promote our women and the work they're doing in non-traditional roles. It's just been an honor. So thank you for this recognition.
What we have before us today is just a lot of, you know, women that, you know, I like the can't say no. I know sometimes we take on too much, but I like that, you know, because we're always open to opportunity. And Diana, you're no different. Congratulations and a heartfelt, you know, hug.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we are getting ready just to close out Women's History Month, but I would be remiss if we didn't let our colleagues, Commissioner Corsand and our Pro Tem Davis, say a few words as well. Your voices are important in this effort. I know we kind of changed up the program this year, but I'll let Commissioner Corsand say a few words, and then our Pro Tem Davis say a few words as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, this was fantastic. You know, this is only my 3rd week, but what a wonderful 3rd week to be in. I think just sitting back and hearing your journeys of how you got here, how others were mentors and there to inspire you or show you a way forward. And, you know, as someone who was raised by his grandparents and close to my grandmother, I know firsthand what it means to just be, I forget now which honoree it was, but it takes a village, and it's true, like all of our tides are lifted when one of you is just lifted. And I hope that, you know, in the generations ahead, that as the city reaches more equity and leadership, that more tides are lifted and we reach that level. And it is truly remarkable that Diana, I think, just hit the right note there, that we are led by 2 really strong, capable women on this Board of Public Works. And I think it's the first time in its history that 2 women are in leadership roles and 2 Latina women who are in this role. And it's just remarkable for the city to finally reach that level. And it's fantastic to see. And I look forward to seeing how the years continue to progress in the leadership of President Garcia and Vice President Villegas, and helping lifting that voice of equity. And, you know, along the way, my tide will rise too, because just like I said, when you rise, we all rise. And I think it's remarkable. So thank you for putting this together and giving us an opportunity to just listen and hear your stories was really remarkable. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much as well. First, I'll start off with the leadership for President Garcia and Vice President Villegas for not only being the role model, but for doing an outstanding job this year in identifying the other women leaders, particularly in the Department of Public Works. And for all of those that have been presented today, I am absolutely proud and absolutely inspired by the achievement that they have been able to accomplish in our department. I think Commissioner Villegas said it best when she said that the example of our public value for women has been led by the mayor, Eric Garcetti. Not only does he value women, but he has demonstrated it, particularly as we look at the numbers of women who have been appointed to a commissions throughout the city of Los Angeles. We've had shared governance in the city that has had gender balance in terms of making sure that women, not only in public works, but throughout the organization of the city, have had a significant role. And I think that, as Commissioner Corson has said, that the appreciation we have for women starts at home. All of us have had some strong women in our own organization called family. Certainly my mother, who was an educator, was certainly very instrumental in me doing anything that I can claim that is an achievement today. And I know that all of those of you who are observing have had some person within your family, whether it be your grandmother, your sister, your aunt, your mother, all of whom have had significant roles. And I think really that is a phenomenon that is worldwide. So I am, again, proud and inspired by the women that are here in our great city of Los Angeles. And I think what we are doing leads the way for other municipalities throughout the state of California to make sure that they can do what we have done in terms of the gender balance in our commissions and in terms of making sure that every year we recognize the people who are the leaders in our families and in our cities, and that is women. So thank you all so much, President Garcia and Vice President Villegas, for giving us an outstanding Women's History Month celebration this year. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you both. We are, one depends on the other. So thank you so much for your remarks. And just to close out Women's History Month today, to all the honorees, congratulations. Your hard work and dedication is now sung. And you are leaving a mark for others, to follow as well, other young ladies to follow as well. From maintaining our streets and sewers and fixing potholes, installing streetlights and building bridges, or just collecting trash. We appreciate your hard work and the dedication because you enhance the quality of life for all the people across the city of Los Angeles. Today, we celebrate all the work that has been done to advance women's rights and gender equality. It's also a time to acknowledge all the work that remains to be done. We continue to strive for equal pay and workplaces that are equitable and inclusive. Each of you play a significant role in creating a workplace environment where diversity is not just something that is talked about, but rather is practiced through representation from senior level employees to women in roles that once were considered unconventional for women, as we heard today. We continue to do our part to support that mission and ensure that you are given the tools and resources to shape your career and work towards one day of achieving true representation of women in leadership roles throughout the city of Los Angeles. When young girls see women paving the streets or trimming trees, constructing bridges, and leading board meetings, it will open a whole new world of opportunities for the future. As two women currently representing the Board of Public Works, President Garcia and I are proud to support our honorees and all of the women throughout the department that are doing exemplary work and inspiring future generations. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, VP Villegas. That was really nice ceremony today. And thank you all to the nominees and the awardees that were here today, and to your directors who came out and spoke on your behalf. Thank you all, and have a good rest of the day. Appreciate you. Hope you go out and celebrate with your coworkers, with your families, with everybody your circle, and celebrate this very special day, because it is special. It is very special. You will receive your certificate soon via your director. We have them ready, and you just need to get them out to your respective bureaus. But with that, have a good rest of the day. Colleagues, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Well, it is 11:24. Just to make it, straight, let's come back at 11:30. That's okay.
Will do.
Right, see you guys in about 6 minutes, actually.
Thank you.
Let me go ahead and start the recording for you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming back. Commissioners, we will now get started with our agenda items. Our morning was well taken this morning by recognizing Women's History Month. It is the last day of Women's History Month today. I'm sorry, I think we have a 31st, so it's basically still one more day tomorrow, but for us, we were able to celebrate it today. So thank you all for coming back, and now we'll start with our agenda items. We'll start with
President Garcia, if it's okay, let me go ahead and just establish quorum for you really quick, and then you can call the first item.
Okay.
It's 11:32 in the morning. We're establishing quorum again in roll call. We have President Garcia, Vice President Villegas, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Corzan. Madam President, you do have a quorum.
Thank you. Great. Colleagues, now we can get started. We have items 2 through 9 as an assessment hearing. Mr. Flamenco, is he here with us today?
Good morning, Madam President. This is Assad Al-Najjar. I'm representing, yes.
Okay. Assad, you had a really nice background picture there. Is that when we were back in action?
Exactly, our beautiful board, the one and only.
Yeah, look at that. I missed that. That looks
Me
really
too.
nice, by the way. All right, Assad, last question. Can I take 2 through 9 together? Read them all?
Yes, please.
Okay, I will. Okay, so colleagues, bear with me. I'm going to read through 2 through 9 so that Assad can give us one briefing report on that. All right, this is assessment hearings from the Bureau of Street Lighting in Council District 5, from item number 2. Assessment hearing number 1, West Home Avenue and Missouri Avenue, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing April 5th, 2022. Item number 2, item number 3, assessment hearing 2. This is in Council District 6. Cedros Avenue and Novis Street, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing April 5th. Sorry about that. City Council hearing April 5th, 2022. Item 4, assessment hearing 3 in Council District 2, Elmer Avenue and Burbank Boulevard, number 1, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing April 5th, 2022. Item number 5, assessment hearing 4. This is in Council District 4, Franklin Avenue and New Hampshire Avenue, number 1, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing April 5th, 2022. Item number 6, assessment hearing 5, Council District 13, Douglas Street and Montana Street, number 3, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing April 5th, 2022. Item number 7, assessment hearing number 6, Council District 4, Ventura Canyon Avenue and Hesby Street, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing April 5th, 2022. Item number 8, assessment hearing number 7 in Council District 14, 6th Street and San Julian Street, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing April 5th, 2022. Item number 9, this is an assessment hearing number 8, Council District 10, at Guthrie Avenue and Prius Road, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing April 5th, 2022. All right, Assad, that was all. It's all you now.
Thank you, Madam President. Good morning, and good morning, Commissioners. These are items 2 through 9 pertaining to street lighting assessment districts, which we are establishing at the Bureau of Street Lighting in conjunction with private development projects. The ballots for items 2 through 9 were mailed on February 16, 2022, and the ballots for items 2 to 9 must be received by the City Clerk Office by Tuesday, April 5, 2022 for the council hearing. We have not received any objections to date on any of the items 2 through 9, and we are requesting the board to adopt and forward items 2 through 9 forward to the City Council. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Assad, for that. Any questions, colleagues? Remember, we're gonna try our new process. Raise your virtual hand if you, or literally your hand too, for any questions. Hearing none. Any objections? Hearing none as well. Is there an item to move these, the items 2 through 9 forward forthwith?
I'll make that motion.
Great, Mr. Corson. Is there a second for Mr. Corson's motion?
I'll second that.
Great. Dr. Campos, we have a first by Commissioner Corson and a second by VP Villegas on items 2 through 9 to move forward forthwith.
Absolutely. Thank you, Madam President. We'll go ahead and start the voting tabulation, and we'll start with you.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis. You're on mute, Dr. Davis.
Davis, aye.
Thank you. And Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
Thank you. This motion is adopted and carries unanimous for items 2 through 9. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Assad. Nice seeing you, and thank you for bringing us back memories. I can actually see Dr. Davis in the background there, so I know that's a. Do you see yourself, Dr. Davis? It's a really nice picture, by the way. Just I think.
Where is this? Where is this?
This is our board meeting.
Oh, okay. All
The
right.
board meeting right before COVID. The last one I attended before.
Oh, okay. Great. Great.
Wow. All right.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, thanks, Assad. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good to see you. All right, colleagues, moving on to item number 10. This is in all council districts. This is a request for qualifications, personal services, contracts, pre-qualified on-call community and business outreach consultants, various wage standards, enforcement, and labor standards project. Recommending the board to 1, authorize the Inspector of Public Works to issue and advertise the transmitted RFQ to community and business outreach consultants. 2, authorize the staff from the Department of Public Works Bureau of Contract Administration to evaluate and pre-qualify the respondents based upon the requirements and procedures set forth in the RFQ. 3, authorize the Inspector of Public Works to negotiate a personal services contract with each of the highest rated and most responsive firms. And 4, direct the Inspector of Public Works to report to the Board of Public Works with his recommendations on executing the negotiated contracts. Ms. G, you are here on today's item.
Yes. Good morning, commissioners and executive staff. My name is Diana G. with the Bureau of Contract Administration, and I'm here to request authorization to issue a request for qualifications to create a pre-qualified on-call list for community and business outreach consultants for the Office of Wage Standards. This is the Office of Wage Standards' third time releasing this RFQ, and there have been no major changes made. The scope of work has essentially stayed the same to create a new pre-qualified on-call list. And these on-call lists enable the Bureau to comply with the direction provided by the City Council and Mayor through the Minimum Wage Ordinance, which explicitly directs the Bureau to implement a community-based outreach program. Our current pre-qualified list is set to expire on April 10th, 2022, and there are currently 10 organizations on this list. Most, if not all, are nonprofit organizations such as the Community Partners for LA Black Workers Center, Koreatown Immigrant Workers Alliance, and the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights of LA. The Office of Wage Standards has issued tasks for various services such as education and outreach to employers, employees, and business associations. These organizations have helped employers and employees to understand the labor laws related to minimum wage, paid sick leave, and Fair Chance Initiative for hiring. And with your approval of this RFQ, our office will establish a new list for another 3 years. The proposals will be due by May 4th, 2022, and we will be back to board to award the contract after negotiations at the end of May. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Great, thank you, Ms. G, for that. Any questions, colleagues? I'm here. Commissioner Corson.
Thank you. Thank you, Diana. I do have a question just based on what you just said. So I know a part of this RFQ is the outreach with the new minimum wage increase coming in July. Will the current list of on-call, will they be contracted to do some of that, or will it wait until this current list is in place?
We will be waiting until this current list is in place. All the contractors on the previous pre-qualified list were notified earlier this year that an upcoming RFQ will be posted.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Corson. Any other questions, colleagues? Hearing none. Any objections? Hearing none as well. Ms. G, following up Mr. Corson's question, will you, and maybe I should know this, but I want to just confirm, will there be any point that we can add new nonprofits or folks to this list?
Yes, the Office of Wage Standards would like to open this opportunity to work with new and different organizations that may want to be included on the list at this time.
Okay, good. And how are we doing that outreach, or how are we letting folks know that there's an open that they can possibly get into one of our personal service contracts list?
It will be posted onto RAMP LA.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Good to know that. That's really nice when we can open up these lists for more folks to be able to participate. So I'm glad we're doing that with this. All right, Ms. G, thank you for your report. I'm not seeing any of our colleagues asking any other more questions. With that, is there a motion to move this item forward?
So moved.
Thank you. I'll second that. Commissioner Davis, were you going to second it too? You're on mute though.
Yes, thank you.
Great. Okay, we'll do Dr. Campos. We have a first by VP Villegas, a second by Dr. Davis to move this item forward forthwith.
Great. We'll go ahead and start the voting tabulations, and we'll start with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Madam President, would you like to consider this item to go forthwith?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Ms. G. Good luck on that. Looking forward to have a nice list put together. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
All right, colleagues, moving on to item 11. This is an item in Council District 14. This is from the Bureau of Engineering, certification of California Environmental Quality Act Environmental Impact Report, State Clearinghouse number 2017041045, 6th Street Park Arts River and Connectivity Improvement Project. Recommending the board, in accordance with the California Environmental Quality Act, review, consider, adopt, and forward this report and transmittals to the Los Angeles City Council to 1. Review and consider the information contained in the 6th Street Park Arts River and Connectivity Improvements Project Final Environmental Impact Report, compromise of the draft EIR and appendices. The final EIR and any other information in the record of proceedings, and certify that the final EIR was completed in compliance with the CEQA, that potentially significant environmental effects of the project have been disclosed and evaluated in compliance with the CEQA, and that the final EIR reflects and expresses the City of Los Angeles independent judgment and analysis as the CEQA lead agency. 2. Adopt the project's CEQA findings and find that on the basis of the whole record, including best management practices and mitigation measures, there is no substantial evidence that the project will have a significant effect on the environment. 3. Adopt the project's mitigation monitoring program. 4. Specify that the documents constituting the record of proceedings in this matter are in the custody of the city clerk, located at 200 North Spring Street, 3rd floor, Los Angeles, California, 90012. The Boards Commission, 200 North Springs, 3rd floor, Los Angeles, California, 90012. The Department of Public Works, Bureau of Engineering, Environmental Management Group, 1149 South Friday, Suite 600, Los Angeles, California, 90015, and any other relevant city department. And 5, approve the project as described in the final EIR. Okay, Mr. Gary Lamb and Ms. Dr. Jan Green Repstock, you made a very hard, complicated, just kidding. It was fine, it's me, not you, all right? All right, Mr. Lamb, tell us what you have going on today.
All right, good morning, Madam President and Board of Public Works Commissioners. My name is Gary Lamb from the Bureau of Engineering, 6th Street Viaduct Division. I'm the project manager for the park project, and I'm being joined this morning by my colleague, Dr. Jan Green Repstock of the Environmental Management Group. So as you clearly stated, the board report before you at the moment is the recommendation that the board review and consider the information in the park project's final EIR, adopt the project CEQA findings, find that there is no substantial evidence that the project will have significant effect on the environment, adopt the project's mitigation monitoring program, approve the project as described in the final EIR, and specify that the documents are located in the custody of the city clerk. All right, so before I have Jan dive into the EIR process for the project, I really want to give you guys a broad overview of the park project here. So I'm just going to go ahead and start sharing the screen here. Is everyone able to see the screen? Yes? Okay. All right, so the 6th Street Park project, it's located underneath and adjacent to the 6th Street viaduct that's in construction at the moment. And the park project is going to be bringing a tremendous amount of green space to a much needed area east of downtown Los Angeles here in the Boyle Heights community. So what we have planned for this project is 13 acres of green space. It's a very significant amount of green space that we're bringing out. I'm not sure we have a park right now that's going to, a proposed park at the moment, that's as large as this one. All right. And so this park is divided into 4 sections here. West Park and the Arts Plaza are located in the Arts District portion of the city. And then crossing over the river and into the Boyle Heights community is what we call the East Park here. All right. And this project is roughly $30 million in construction. So I'm just going to walk you through briefly across the entire park. We're going to start on the west side first. And starting on the west side here, Mateo Street is the western boundary and the entry point into the park here. And what we're going to have are just lots of landscaping areas like planted seating areas, a rain garden. We're going to have flexible and play fields and performance lawn areas, meadow area with a berm. We're going to have a large and small dog park, as well as adult fitness equipment area. And throughout this area, we're also going to have walking and jogging paths as well. Okay. Then marching eastward, but still within the Arts District area, we find ourselves in the Arts Plaza. So this is going to be a performance plaza where people can have social and cultural events, artists can display their works, there's going to be performances. And there's also going to be terraced concrete seating to watch the performances. And a large portion of this Arts Plaza is made possible by a generous donation from the late Leonard Hill, who was a large benefactor of the Arts District here. Okay, and so as we move across, this is just a rendering showing a view of the Arts Plaza and the terrace seating and the stage. And then we're going to move across the river here into the East Park in Boyle Heights. So this is the more active portion of the park. It occupies roughly 7.5 acres of the 13 acres that I mentioned. And this is going to be the active area where we're going to have some U8 and U10 synthetic soccer fields. We're going to have 2 multi-purpose fields here. We're also going to have a basketball court, a children's play area, a children's mister area. There's going to be plenty of picnicking and grilling space, as well as adult fitness equipment located throughout the park. Plenty of jogging and walking paths. We're going to have a small and large dog park here as well. And in this space here, we're also going to have some restroom building and a Rec and Parks office building as well. I forgot to mention we also have restroom buildings on the west side of the park too. Okay. So this is just a rendering of the East Park, right by Anderson Street. You can see the basketball court is covered by the trees in the foreground here. And the structure in the back is the restroom building. And then here's a view of the synthetic soccer field. If you notice, the bridge is right above. Okay, so basically the bridge is going to be right above the park here. All right, so in terms of the construction schedule, we're looking at a 2-year construction for the park project. We're looking to start the project after the construction of the viaduct is complete, so sometime in the fall of 2022, running through the end of 2024. So this represents the phase 1 of the project. If you look at the board report, it also mentions the phase 2 of the project. Phase 2 would consist of in-river terracing. So this portion of the project it hasn't started yet, but we're in talks with the U.S. Army Corps for in terms of the review and approval, and we're still trying to acquire funding for this portion. Again, this is going to be the phase 2 in-river terracing work for this portion of the project. And then as part of the design for the project, let me bring you back to the beginning here. It was well vetted by the community, this project. We had a total of 6 large community meetings on both sides of the river, and a number of small group meetings with the leadership at Boyle Heights to help design this park. So it was community-driven design. So what you see here is called the canopy and objects design. It was decided by the community. We had a number of surveys that went out to the community and engaged them with questions as to what they want to see as park features and priorities. And the community voted and prioritized the features, and we were able to accommodate many of those features that they wanted to see. So this is really the culmination of the community's input here. At this point, I want to go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Repstock to talk about the EIR process. Jan?
Thanks, Gary. And if you could just advance the slides to the flow chart, we can give everyone an overview of the environmental review process. And again, happily, there was quite an extensive community planning design process that front-loaded the environmental review process that really informed what project elements were included and got everyone engaged in the project. So that happened between January and September of 2017. And in May of 2017, a notice of preparation was sent out to the community stakeholders, letting them know that we were about to begin the review process in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act. And we also included an extensive initial study at that time, which identified some of the potential environmental issues that we were going to focus on in our technical studies, and asked for input from the public and agencies of what issues they thought needed to be studied in the document. There were 2 public meetings during the scoping period, one on the Arts District side and one on the Boyle Heights side. And I wanted to also highlight that the second scoping meeting was actually a bilingual meeting. So it's often that we have Spanish translation services available at our meetings, but for this project in particular, we had a very strong messaging from the Boyle Heights community that they wanted to be involved as much as possible. So we conducted the second meeting on the Boyle Heights side, both in English and Spanish. And so I think that allowed for larger participation, and we had information materials available in Spanish as well. Okay, so all of that input informed what was studied in detail in the draft EIR, which was later released in the summer of 2021. So there was a bit of a pause in the project and then the pandemic, but then we were finally able to release the draft EIR. And at that point, we held a virtual public meeting. We did have an extended comment period of 60 days. And then we took all of that input and prepared the final EIR, which was published earlier this month. So now we're moving towards the project approval and EIR certification process. So we're presenting this to the Board of Public Works and then later to Council Committee and the full City Council for consideration. Okay, next slide. Okay, so this is a range of the environmental issues that were looked at in the draft EIR, and I'm happy to report that all of the environmental impacts were found to be less than significant. Some of those impacts did require mitigation. Some just relied upon best management practices. And I'm going to highlight a few of those for you on the next slide. Okay, so again, we looked at a range of issues in the draft EIR. Regarding air quality, there is a commitment to use Tier 4 construction equipment, and newer trucks are going to be required for hauling. And of course, fugitive dust controls and idling restrictions are going to be required. Regarding biological resources, we do have some best management practices in place to conduct surveys prior to construction to look for the presence of bats within the vicinity and nesting birds. And then there's protocols in place to follow if those are found. Regarding cultural resources, we have best management practices in place that's going to require archaeological monitoring during excavation in certain areas, along with the requirement to conduct cultural tribal resource sensitivity training among the construction staff. Okay, related to noise, there is a construction noise management plan that's going to be required, and in addition to that, a public liaison will be appointed to address concerns, not just noise, but those during the construction process, and public notification of construction hours and activities will be provided, and sound barriers will be used as needed. Okay, next slide. Okay, there is contaminated soils on the site. And so the project construction will require the removal of those contaminated soils. And the project team's happy to report that we do have an approved remedial action plan now from the LA County Fire Department. So construction and removal of those soils will follow the protocols highlighted in the RAP. And site-specific health and safety plans will also be required. Okay, related to traffic, there's a number of mitigation measures and best management practices related to traffic and transportation for the project. The city will reserve space on the site for a bike share hub, a mobility hub, and access to the future proposed 6th Street Metro station. And that's part of a separate environmental review process conducted by Metro. There are designated ride-share pickup and drop-off zones, and the site does have the capacity to host larger events, and so any event permittees will be required to prepare event parking and transit plans to share with their attendees. Okay, and then lastly, I wanted to highlight an item related to water quality and hydrology. So I think Gary mentioned that there is an existing pedestrian tunnel that gives access to the LA River near the events plaza. And one of the things that was highlighted in our consultation with the Army Corps of Engineers was the need for a public safety plan related to flooding. And that will need to be prepared and include an evacuation plan and protocols for protecting people that are in the pedestrian tunnel during flood conditions. So safety warning devices or vehicle deterrents may be included. So those are just some of the aspects of the plan that will need to be developed. Best management practices will also be used to manage stormwater and sediment on the site during construction. Okay, and with that, I'd like to know if the commission has any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Dr. Rebstock, for your very thorough report on that. I really liked how you separated all the different sections and, you know, kind of went through it, and because it just gives us a better picture of what we're looking at piece by piece. But let me ask my colleagues if there's any questions around this. Colleagues, any questions? I see Commissioner Vice President Villegas with your hand up. Dr. Davis, if you have any questions, you know, just raise your virtual hand or literally your hand.
Sure.
And Commissioner Corson also. Okay, I'll start with VP Villegas.
Thank you. I also appreciate the report. I actually don't have comments. I just like the due diligence that you all have done on this project. It's so extensive, and you know, I know that there's multiple people working on this just from, you know, various grants that were received, you know, for this project, and most recently the $4 million from the state. So I just want to commend you for the extraordinary work that you've done during this time, even during a pandemic. This is a tremendous feat. Thank you.
Thank you, VP Villegas. Commissioner Corson.
I wanted to echo the same sentiments as Vice President Villegas. You blew me away with 6 large meetings. That's quite a bit, and just having been a part of those large community meetings in different settings, I know what it entails, and I really can appreciate that, given that this is a large public park that will last generations and generations. So getting community input and really designating it a community park, to me, was very compelling. I applaud you and commend you for all of that extensive outreach, and your presentation today, just walking us through it. I really appreciated that as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Corson, for that. So, ditto, my colleagues. You guys have done great, impressive, and actually that whole community on both sides is going to be renovated completely, and the community members from both areas are really going to be able to just take advantage of these really nice features that you're bringing, like the dog park, I think I saw like a splash water thing for kids as well. That's really nice to see that. The only concern I probably had, and it's a very dumb and lame concern, but I thought that the soccer field was going to be under the bridge, and I automatically thought, my thought went, what if somebody kicks it really hard? Will they reach the top of the bridge? I know that's like a really lame concern, but it's really what I thought. I'm like, what's going to happen? But I'm sure you guys thought of that too, so I wouldn't even worry about that. But I just want to say congratulations to all of you for working on this, and thank you for being so thoughtful in bringing this to our communities that really much need it. So I'm happy to be part of all of this, and I look forward to learning more as you start your work on this. Now it's your turn. As soon as we, ribbon cut the upper part of this viaduct, we'll be able to then you start. So I just want to say that very nice that you're all working on this project. I don't have any other questions. I look forward to obviously approving all of this and making sure that we work together with the community on this. Other than that, I don't have any questions or any more comments. Is there a motion to move this item forward, colleagues?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, BP Villegas and myself seconded. All right. Dr. Campos, we have a motion by Dr. Davis, second by BP Villegas and myself to move this item forward and forthwith.
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and start the voting tabulations. We'll start with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Davis, aye.
And Commissioner Corzan.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous, referring this item to City Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Lamb and Dr. Rebstock for all your work, and look forward to hearing more about this. I'm sure you'll be keeping us up to date, right?
That is correct, yes.
Good luck. Good luck in everything. We look forward to you coming back. Have a good rest of the day.
Okay,
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you. That was a really nice presentation. Moving us forward to item number 12. This is an item in Council District 13 for the Bureau of Street Services. This is a tree removal at 1327 North Fuller Avenue, recommending the board to 1, find that the project as a whole is categorically exempt pursuant to Section 15332, Class 3.2 of the State Environmental Quality Act guidelines, and that there is no substantial evidence that the proposed project will have a significant effect on the environment and is in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act. 2, find that none of the exceptions to the use of categorical exception as set forth in Section 15300.2 of State SEPA guidelines apply. 3, specify that the Bureau of Street Services for Urban Forestry Division located at 1149 South Broadway is custodian of the documents or other material that constitute the record of proceedings upon which the board's decision is based. 4, review and approve the request for a fee permit for the removal of 5 American sweet gum trees. I'm not even going to try the other one. Tree replacements are required, and 5, concur with the Bureau of Street Services determination that the site cannot feasibly accommodate all the required replacement trees and pursuant to LAMC 62.177C, authorize a tree replacement guarantee fee to satisfy the board's tree planting requirement. Okay, Mr. Bañuelos, tell us what you're doing out there, Council District 13.
Yes, good morning, President Garcia, Commissioners. My name is Hector Bañuelos. I'm with Streets LA Urban Forestry Division. What we have before us is a request for a fee permit to remove 5 street trees for construction of a driveway. This is relative to a previously approved project for 5 small lots, residential dwellings there at 1327 North Fuller Avenue. In Council District 13. This is part of the vesting tentative tract 82217. As I mentioned, it was previously approved by Department of City Planning. Part of the project scope includes in order to access these dwelling units, they have to construct a driveway. The driveway is going to be about 23 feet wide, and there are 5 trees growing within and directly adjacent to the footprint of that driveway. And these trees, these are liquid amber trees, American sweet gums, or liquid amber thurberstaflua, that's the pronunciation. So these trees are planted very close to each other, randomly, almost with no regard. Well, actually not almost, but with no regard to the surrounding infrastructure. They're planted within a foot of sidewalk edge. A couple of them. There's one directly adjacent to a utility pole. There's overhead communication wires there. These trees are already reached the communication wires, and they're going to be repeatedly topped also by the utility companies that need access to those to that overhead infrastructure. And so these trees, if allowed to remain, they will create more problems for the city, without a doubt. They will start to uplift the sidewalks. They have not done so already, and the curb and all the other infrastructure around. And so they have to be removed to allow the developer to install their driveway. So unfortunately, because the lot is relatively narrow, about 50 feet wide, but the 23-foot drive, when you have utility poles at each end of the lot, and there's going to have to be water meters installed also to supply water and utilities to the dwelling units. So there's just no room for replants in this location, unfortunately. So in order for the developer to comply for the 2-to-1 tree replacements, we're asking that the board also allow Streets LA to charge the applicant the tree planting guarantee fee for 10 trees, so that the trees can be planted later in Council District 13 via the tree planting guarantee fee. So at the Community Forest Advisory Committee, the Department of Empowerment and Council District 13 were notified of the tree removal permit request. We did not receive any objections from any of the entities notified, nor did we receive any objections or any inquiries on our tree removal notification system website. And so there's just no objections to this tree removal permit request that I'm not aware of. So with that, that concludes my presentation, and I'm here to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Mr. Bañuelos. Appreciate that appreciate you and your thorough report. Any questions, colleagues, on this item? Hearing none. Any objections? Hearing none. Mr. Bañuelos, you got an easy one today. Is there a second?
I was due.
I know you did. Today was one of the most easiest one you've had in a long time. How's that? Is there a second to my motion to move this item forward?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Dr. Campos, there's a first by me and a second by Dr. Davis to move item 12 forward and forthwith.
Great. We'll go ahead and start the voting tabulation, and we'll start with you, Madam President.
Aye.
Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
And Commissioner Corzine.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Campos. Mr. Bañuelos, you're all set. See, no problems.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good rest of the afternoon. Bye-bye. All right, colleagues, that's the end of our voting items. This takes us now to our oral reports. Item number 13, this is contracts expiring within 90 days. And basically all bureaus. I know we have some that are not going to. All right, Dr. Campos.
President Garcia, I will go ahead and start spotlighting the representatives from the Bureau of Engineering. We have Greg Vandergriff from the Bureau of Street Services, Martha Iñiguez from Bureau of Contract Administration, Diana G, and from the Bureau of Sanitation, Nancy Lanton and Ronald Mayuyu. For the Bureau of Street Lighting and the Board of Public Works, there's nothing to report, so there will be no presentation for those two bureaus.
Okay, got it. All right, we'll start with, I think you said BOE, then we'll do BSS, BCA, and then we'll end with sanitation. All right, let's start with you, Greg. Good to see you.
Good to see you, President Garcia. I have to get used to the new title. Congratulations. And to you too, President Villegas, President Pro Tem Commissioner Davis, and Commissioner Corzine. It's a pleasure to be with you all this afternoon. For the Bureau of Engineering, the status report, personal services contracts due to expire within 90 days from March 1st, 2022. We have one contract that is expiring that we are going to continue. This is with FSY Architects Incorporated. We need to complete construction of the Manchester Junior Arts and Vision Theater project. Contract number C106420 will be amended to extend that contract for 2 more years, and that extension has been presented previously. We have other contracts that will be archived upon expiration, and we've already instituted replacement contracts. First of these is C115225 with AECOM, formerly URS Corporation, and that contract expired on March 17th of this year. The next was Somas & Associates, contract number C115226, also expired on March 17th of 2022. Next was C115228 with HNTB Corporation. It also expired on March 17th of 2022. Our Mars Services Incorporated contract number C115229, expired on March 17th. Our contract with HDR Incorporated, contract number C115230, expired on March 17th. Our contract C115232 with Cordova Corporation expired on March 17th. Our contract with David Evans and Associates, C115233, expired also on March 17th. Our contract with EW Moon Incorporated, contract number C115234, expired on March 17th. And lastly, our contract C115235 with Harrison Associates also expired on March 17th. Are there any questions, Commissioners?
I don't see any. No questions. No questions, Greg, for you. Thank you for your thorough report and look forward to continuing the work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good rest of the day.
You too.
All right. BSS. Who's here from Bureau of Street Services?
Yes.
Is that you, Miss Miguez, Marta?
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead.
President Garcia, and good afternoon, Commissioners. First of all, I'd like to commend all those women at the beginning of the meeting that were recognized for their achievements. I am very happy to see women working hard and contributing to the betterment of society, business, and government. Congratulations to them again. My name is Martha Iñiguez. I'm representing Streets LA to report the Bureau's contracts that will be expiring within 90 days. Streets LA has one contract that will be expiring this year on June 30th. This is a sole source contract with Creative Paving Solutions for the application of cool pavement coating as part of the next phase neighborhood cooling project. Streets LA intends to submit a request to recommend the board exercise the one-year contract extension if funding is approved in the upcoming fiscal year's budget. In addition to that one contract, we have 78 owner-operator work agreements associated with the as-needed haul truck program to supplement existing staff in the transport of materials and debris throughout the city. These agreements are also due to expire on June 30th this year. Streets LA will be submitting requests to increase the authority for expenditure by $3 million to $14.8 million, add 19 additional truckers to the program, and exercise the one-year renewal option, which will extend the term to June 30th, 2023. That concludes my report. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Ms. Iniguez. I appreciate your report. Colleagues, any questions to the Bureau of Street Services? Sound like it. Thank you, Ms. Iniguez, for your time. We appreciate your report and have a good rest of the day.
You're welcome, Commissioners. Thank you for your time.
Great. Thirdly, we'll go with BCA. That would be you, Ms. G.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Diana G, and I'm with the Office of Wage Standards in the Bureau of Contract Administration. As previously mentioned, the Bureau has 10 contracts with the following 10 contractors that will be expiring on April 10th, 2022. Center for Living and Learning, Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights of LA, Community Partners for LA Black Worker Center, Economic Roundtable, Garment Worker Center, Imprenta Communications Group, Koreatown Immigrant Workers Alliance with Clean Car Wash Campaign, the Regents of the University of California, California Policy Lab, Restaurant Opportunity Center, and Warehouse Worker Resource Center. These contractors are on the pre-qualified on-call community and business outreach consultants list that was adopted and executed by the board in April of 2019. And as approved earlier, the Office of Wage Standards has received the board's approval to release a new RFQ to establish another on-call list for 3 years that will assist the city in various wage standards enforcement and city labor standards projects. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. G. Any questions for the Bureau of Contract Administration? Dr. Davis.
Yeah, I just wanted a clarification. The timeline of this list is what? What is the frame time of the list of individuals that we have chosen to continue work with?
We will be posting the new RFQ on Friday, April 1st, and the proposals will be due by May 4th, 2022, and negotiations will be done at the end of May.
And when we negotiate with them, what will be the term of the contract that they will engage with work with us? And will it be 2, 3 year, 1 year? What
It will be 3 years.
It's a 3-year contract. Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Davis, for that. Appreciate it. Any other questions? Hearing none. Ms. G, thank you for your time. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. And we'll finally, Bureau of Sanitation. Nancy, good to see you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Good to see everyone too. Nancy Lanton from LA Sanitation and Environment. For our monthly status report for March, LA Sanitation has 11 personal services contracts expiring within 120 days. The first 9 contracts on our report are for our on-call contracts for our automation and technology projects. These 9 contracts will expire on April 7th, 2022, and staff is preparing to finalize a board report recommending to the board that the second 1-year renewal option, extending it to April 2023, be exercised, as well as an amendment. Staff is also preparing a new RFQ to be released for these services for a new on-call list. The 10th contract on the list is with Electronic Recyclers International, or ERI. This is the contract for our e-waste recycling, which expires June 2nd, 2022. In January, the board approved a second 3-year renewal and amendment number 2 to extend the contract to 2025. This will allow staff to release a new RFP and execute a new contract. That board report is awaiting council approval. And then the last contract on the list is with RNG Fanuki Farms. This is for our custom farming operations at the Green Acre Farms. This contract does expire July 25th, 2022, and will not be renewed. We distributed a new RFP for these services, and the board did approve the execution of a new contract last year, and that board report is also awaiting City Council approval. And that concludes my report for this month. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Lanton. I know you guys have thought about everything, but I do have a quick question. There isn't going to be any interruption of services, right, from at the Green Acres Farm?
No, that expires July, and we do anticipate the board report going to council within this next council meeting in April. I believe it's been agendized already. So okay. We should have that executed by July. No
okay,
problem.
Good. Okay, good to hear that. All right, any questions, colleagues?
Yes. I wanted to ask, let's see, you said something about the, I think it's an ERI is the vendor for the e-waste contract. And we are proposing to extend it for 3 years. And that will give us the opportunity to renegotiate a fuller contract, you said?
Yes, we'll go out for a new RFP on that one.
And then what would the new RFP look like in terms of the time of the work and the scope of the work of the RFP? What do we anticipate it would be a contract for how long?
Similar to how we had the original contract, we would propose a 5-year contract with 2 renewal options as well. That is the proposal, but again, we would go to board before that to see if that would be okay to go ahead and do that same term. So it would be similar, and this is a revenue generating contract, so we do generate revenue from the e-waste recycling.
Sure.
So the plan would be to do a similar contract.
How long has ERI had the existing contract?
That contract was in 2014 was executed, and it was to expire 2022, but we are extending it to 2025. So with the extension, that would be 11 years, 11-year contract.
So we've had it for 11 years. It's a 5-year contract. They've had it for 5 years plus an extra year. And we're trying, and we want to extend it an additional 3 years.
Yes.
And do we anticipate when we get this new contract that you are forecasting, do we anticipate that the new contract will include ERI?
Well, we will put the proposal out to similar contractors for proposal. And we do anticipate them since they had a previous contract, as well as others. And so we do anticipate them bidding on the contract as well.
Mm-hmm. So it's a market where we have multiple industries in the region who do this work, or is it one of the areas of work where there are very few people who are expert in the area?
Commissioner Davis, that I don't know the answer to. I can get that information from you, from the project manager, to see what type of pool we'll have and what expertise, because the markets are changing. I can get that information for you to see what exactly it will look like now.
So since we've been doing this, ERI is the person with whom we've been working, correct?
Yes.
This current vendor is the main vendor that we've been working with since we've been doing this work. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I just was trying to get a better understanding if it's a competitive market where there are multiple individuals that are out there that compete for this work, or if it were, in other words, and subspecialty where only very few people do it. But if in fact, if it is an area where there are many people that do it, does it take us 3 years to prepare an additional contract for getting an agreement for a future contract? Does it take us 3 years from 2022 now to 25 to put that together?
In general, it does take a contract up to 3 years to put together. In this case like this, it may not necessarily, but we just like to give ourselves the extra time because of the city approvals in place to get a contract executed, just in general. That's the time frame that we really give for RFPs. So, and it may not necessarily what we would need for this one.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what we had asked for the board when we requested the renewal.
On your first item that you reported on, you talked about an amendment, right? Could you tell me and elaborate again on that first item you talked about? I think you said 2023, and then you talked about implementing an amendment for a newer RFP. Is that on your first item?
Yes, the on-call contracts are expiring in 2022, but there is a built-in second one-year renewal to 2023. But when that board report goes before you, you'll see it's an amendment to the contract ceiling, and it's also an amendment to add some language on there as well. So it's a combination renewal and amendment.
Could you elaborate a little further in terms of what you anticipate the amendment to do or to say?
It increases the ceiling from 20 million to 20 million to 40 million, I believe. And it also, we have added COVID language to the contracts because they were not in the original language. And I believe that was it in terms of the amendment. So it's asking for an additional year plus amended language on term and COVID language.
And we are expanding our capacity in terms of contracting with vendors in that area. Is that correct? You said it was initially currently 20 million, and you anticipate the amendment will require or seek an additional 20 million, which means that the amendment would try to extend the scope of our work in this area to 40 million. Is that right?
Yes, for additional projects that will be going on in the next year.
And the focus of those projects will be what, in general? I know you can't tell me particularly, but in general, what do you anticipate the work in that area to be? Do we know?
I don't have the board report in front of me, and again, when we go before the board and prior to that, we can brief you on the specific projects that will entail on why the scope is being increased. It has stayed the same from 20 million since we originally executed the contracts. So we can do a separate briefing on that, on additional projects that will be part of the contract ceiling increase.
So when we do double the scope of work, we anticipate to increase the numbers of vendors with whom we can do business as well. Is that our hypothesis, our guess in terms of when we increase the scope to 20 additional million?
Well, the original on-call list is the 9 contractors, so that's
Sure.
the contractors prime contractors that will be issued the tosses on. What we do anticipate other subcontractors could come on board for additional projects.
So
But the
we do
prime, but the
anticipate.
prime contractors will remain the same. It'll be the 9.
Well, so we don't anticipate expanding and creating and perhaps looking at bringing in new prime contractors in as much as we're going to expand it to twice as much, from 20 million to 40 million? We're going to give it to the same 9 people? Is it a market where in this area we have other individuals who are growing and developing as prime contractors so that they too might have an opportunity to present to us, and we too might have an opportunity to consider them to add to what we currently have as a city? Is that possible?
Right. No, I understand what you're saying. The contract itself, the original on-call list, is with our 9 contractors, and in order for us to add additional prime contractors, that we would have to basically open it up again, and which we will be doing with the new RFQ. But for this particular contract, the amendment that we're going to go before the board, it does not do that. Because
So
we would have to
what
release a new
specific
RFQ.
what specific work does this particular contract do?
It's basically all of sanitation's automation and technology projects. So it's our IT division kind of oversees it. They're the project manager. So we issue technology projects, supports for our clean water control systems. So a lot of our automation type projects. So the 9 consultants all there are specialized services in automation and technology improvements.
Even though technology and automation is a subspecialty with a limited amount of individuals who, in fact, are expert in technology in that area, on one hand. On the other hand, that area of technology is a little more diverse than some subspecialties, which means that there are a lot of women and minorities, believe it or not, who are part of the technology community that deal with automation, which means that in our choices is the potential that we could have to expand the base. And if we are expanding in terms of our request of the Board of Public Works to spend more money from 20 million, double it to 40 million, then I would have the expectation that the capacity for growth would extend past the ask for the money, but also to the opportunity to work for the constituents that do that work. So my expectation would be that we would consider how, when we're doing this planning and strategic planning, that we would consider how we could be inclusive of the possibility of creating an opportunity for more people to do this work. We're a big city. We're the 2nd largest city in the United States of America. So if we're going to grow financially, why can't we do it in terms of utility, in terms of the numbers of individuals that will get the opportunity to do work with us as well? That would be my expectation. That would be the kind of strategy that I think should be incorporated into our thinking. So as you talk to us about, how we are moving forward and the goals that we're anticipating that we're seeking to accomplish, I would hope very seriously that we would consider that kind of growth that would allow other contractors to come in as we move forward. So I just wanted to say that because I think that's truly important as we always give these speeches, those of us that are doing board work, about growth and development and employment. This is an opportunity I see where strategic planning makes a difference. So I thank you for the report and hope you can remember my 2 cents about it. Thank you.
No, definitely. And we will, I'll take it back to our division too when we brief you on this board report to take that into consideration as well and give you additional information on how we're going to expand the services to others.
Thank you very much, Nancy.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Davis, and thank you, Nancy. Is that it for your report?
Yep, that was it.
Thank you so much, Ms. Manton. Appreciate your time as well, and have a good rest of the afternoon.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you. All right, colleagues, we've reached the end. Dr. Campos, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
Thank you very much. All right, colleagues, we are done for today's meeting. Have a good rest of the day, and today's meeting has been adjourned. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.